what's up? We are going to talk about dinosaurs. I hope that you are ready. This is the last one. Are you awake? Are you here with me? Yes, nodding? Okay, good. My name is Emily Ruppe, and I work at Jelly.io as a solutions engineer. I've worked in tech for about 15 years. I've worked in the SRE space for the last 8. I was the first dedicated incident commander at Twilio, grew the team to be over a dozen folks globally distributed. I have been called the Bob Ross of incident reviews. And back when we had offices, my coworkers liked to document the strange circumstances where I stopped, dropped, and responded to incidents. Sitting in a box is a really good way to cope with incident response. Now, I've been in hundreds of incidents, and I am sick of the phrase, "to prevent this incident from ever happening again." Has anyone read this before in a status post, an RCA, an incident review? Has anyone written this before in an RCA, in a status post? Has anyone believed themselves when they wrote that? Amazing, I'm so proud of you. Now I'm going to prove you wrong. The truth is, this isn't actually a thing we can do. No matter how good we are at action items and remediating problems, we can't actually prevent incidents from happening again. Because truly repeat incidents within complex socio-technical systems, the one that we work in and operate in all of the time today, they don't exist. Dr. Ian Malcolm, the leading expert in chaos theory, describes chaos as simply dealing with unpredictability in complex systems. That sounds familiar, right? We love complex systems. And I think we probably all know a little bit of something about dealing with unpredictability. So I'm going to lay a couple more quotes on you really quick. Heraclitus, same level as Dr. Ian Malcolm Heraclitus, the same level of philosophical gravitas, said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." Another doctor, a real one this time, you heard her talk yesterday, Dr. Laura McGuire recently wrote, "Just as you never step in the same river twice because it is continuously flowing, so too will you never face the same incident twice, because continuous integration and continuous deployment equals what? Continuous change." We should have rehearsed that before. Continuous integration and continuous deployment equals what? Continuous change. That's right, we're doing this on purpose. We are making changes intentionally to our systems all of the time. So our systems, the people involved in them, and the circumstances in which we all exist are constantly growing and evolving. So no two incidents are truly ever the same because we are not the same people and our systems are not the same systems. All right, let's dive into two incidents that were 22 years apart that might appear to be identical incidents. They are at amusement parks where dinosaurs get loose and eat people. Ultimately, impact is the same for both of them. Thankfully, Universal Studios has committed to preserving the transcripts of these incidents and have turned them into a series of 6 documentaries that they've distributed globally. You can watch these films on most streaming platforms. Now, as a person who frequents dinosaur amusement parks, as I assume a lot of you do as well, I'm probably going to look at these series of incidents and say, well, did they really even learn anything the first time? Because dinosaurs keep getting loose and they keep eating people. They did. So let's dive in. Let's look at what they learned from the first incident. Welcome to Jurassic Park. I don't have the same Attenborough voice, I apologize. So Jurassic Park is actually one of my favorite examples to show that incidents do not have a single root cause. Because sure, we had corporate espionage and sabotage, but there was also a hurricane. And the majority of the staff was evacuated, leaving only a handful of people without the systems expertise they needed to fix these problems. The customers did things we did not expect them to do, and they were in an untested environment, and they were even harmed by things that we had put in place that meant to protect them. And those friggin' velociraptors, man, they're too clever and they made everything worse. But over the next 22 years, improvements were made. There is a very robust security team now. The staff has increased significantly. Great lengths have been taken to contain and train our customers for their safety. And yes, they train velociraptors too. You can do it, and it works. But in the next incident, You're not going to believe this. Dinosaurs got loose, and they ate people. The security team lacked systems context. They ran into communication gaps, and their intervention did not go as planned. They had a very large staff, but there were still significant knowledge silos, and finding the right person to fix things was hard. The customers were contained, but they still made unexpected choices and found themselves in trouble. And those trained velociraptors helped, eventually, after they got loose and ate people. So what happened? We had good themes from the first incident. We had solid action items, we planned, and we remediated the risks that we identified. And a lot of it worked, and a lot of it didn't. Because we can't know which remediations will prevent future incidents and which ones will cause more. We don't know what world those future incidents will exist in. We don't know what technologies will change, which people will be involved, and what knowledge those people will hold. Even just looking at ourselves, responders, SREs in general, we don't know what additional experiences will affect our assumptions and cognitive biases in future incidents. Every incident we are a part of changes our model, our mental model of the systems and the organizations we work in. We are different responders for every new incident that we are involved in. And each change we make to our system, like action items or feature developments, evolves our systems further. So we don't know which new project will secretly be genetically spiced with velociraptors and end up turning our remediation, our very good remediation of training raptors, into a weird gang of personal Jurassic murder birds that will attack the people who have trained them. So if we can't prevent incidents from happening again, how do we get better? We already always are getting better. We continue to change. We keep that river flowing. We are preventing incidents all of the time without even knowing it. Sure, we are also dropping Barbasol cans that contain the frozen embryos of future incidents, but there will always be more dinosaurs who are looking to get loose and who are trying to eat people. But we can build better ways to prevent them from escaping, and we can also do things to make it easier for ourselves when they get out. We can work on our cardio so that we can get ahead of the dinosaurs who are chasing us more easily in the future, like making it easier to switch into AWS regions, prioritizing psychological safety, and telling the stories of our previous incidents. Incident analysis is how we build stronger incident response. It's how we recognize patterns across incidents and share that knowledge to our future responders. I told you we were going to talk about dinosaurs. Let's talk about dinosaurs. In the first Jurassic Park movie, we are stunned when the raptor appears out of nowhere and attacks Muldoon from the side. That is like a moment. But then by the time we get to the second one, I think it's Jurassic Park Lost World, we see them in the tall grass, and we know that the raptors are coming in from the side. We know that that's how they operate. We are experienced raptor responders now. But the people down in that tall grass, they do not have the benefit of our same experiences. We need to take the things that surprise us in incidents and teach those as patterns to recognize for future responders. Because the insights that we understand from past incidents, however scary they might seem, can be options for us in future incidents. Like we can release the T-Rex from her paddock to fight the Indominus Rex. I'm so sorry, that is a spoiler for Jurassic World. I should have said that before. But we can release the T-Rex from her paddock to fight the Indominus Rex, which is kind of like SSHing into prod and intentionally deleting a bunch of logs. That could be an option to help us in future incidents. Because getting better isn't just about preventing the same things from happening again. It's about better understanding how everything works together and using that information to evolve our understanding and solve problems that don't exist yet. Because incidents will find a way, but we can too.